stage 1 tune. This car is really fast. The first ever video that I uploaded with this car was like 5 years ago. I've had this car 4 or 5 years and I'm still not bored of it. So obviously I have absolutely no major issues with this car. But after owning a car for so long, you're bound to learn about the little nitty-gritty things that you wish you knew before you bought it. So with that being said, here are 3 things I wish I knew before buying this car. And in order for the first reason to start to make a little bit more sense, I have to go into a little bit of a backstory. As I mentioned before, I bought this car 5 years ago. And if you guys do your mathematications correctly, that's back in 2021. 2021 was an insane year for a lot of people. And with a lot of economic uncertainty, any sane person would not spend the big bucks on a depreciating asset, but here I am. So back when I was negotiating the price for this car, which by the way took like I think 4 to 6 months, back then there were a couple GTRs, a few GTSs, and a few GTCs that were available at that time. And the GTR that I was looking at, the service history was a little bit questionable and it made me not want to buy that car. I decided to look at GTCs, and there was 4 available across the country. There was one in California that I really liked. Before I even had the chance to negotiate, the car was gone. It sold. So with my top choice out, I was kind of in a predicament. I could have either waited a little bit longer, or I could throw out a number to the dealership that I bought this car from and see if I can get it for a more reasonable price. That is exactly what I did. One sec, quick pull. My God, this car is so fast. 5 years later, and it still puts a smile on my face. And this is just with the stage 1 Eurocharge tune. Sorry, I got a little bit off topic there. Just had to take my opportunity for a pull. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so it took me 4 to 6 months to negotiate a price for this car. At the price that they were coming down to after months of negotiating, I knew that if they were gonna come down this much for me, then they probably would have for somebody else too. So I knew if I didn't get this car at that time, then I wouldn't be able to get a good deal on a brand new GTS. The car had a $160,000 price tag, which is insane. And I got it for much less than that. But here comes my first point. If I couldn't get this car for the price that I wanted, or if it sold to someone else, whatever the reason is, then honestly, I would have waited to get another good spec GTC. Now, you may ask, why get a GTC instead of a GT, GTS, or a GTR? Let me tell you, the GTC isn't called the sweet spot in the lineup for no reason. The GTC has rear axle steering, just like the AMG GTR, which is really good for the track, but if you're not really planning on going to the track that much, then you're not really going to be able to tell a difference on driving on normal streets like this. Besides the rear axle steering, the GTC shares the same turbos as the AMG GTR, which are slightly larger than the GT base and the GTS. Which is why when you see a lot of videos on YouTube about like GTSs and GTCs racing or GTRs racing, they start pulling away from the GTSs. And that is because of the larger turbos. Not only the larger turbos, but the GTC and the GTR share the same compression ratio, whereas the GT base and the GTS share a larger compression ratio. Which is why if you ever want to do like pure 1000 turbo upgrade, it'd be better to do it on a GTC or a GTR versus like a GT base or a GTS, because then it starts to bog down a little bit. It takes the turbos a little bit longer to spool and whatnot. If you're really into aesthetics, then the GTC and the GTR, they kind of share that same like wider body in the back. So the front of a GTC shares the same front as a GTS, but the rear of the GTC, like the wider fenders in the back, it shares it with the GTR. You basically get a GTR for way less money if you get a GTC. And like I said, that was honestly my original plan, but the GTC that I wanted, it sold. And this car, it was for a great price that I couldn't say no to. The GTC just doesn't have the 9-stage traction control, as you can see here. Oh, actually, it's out of frame, you can't see it. But I have the 9-stage traction control retrofitted and programmed, thanks to Eurocharge Boston. And I can see why people would buy a GTR just for this traction control knob right here. But to me, spending an extra 40 to 50 grand for the traction control knob, slightly bigger turbos, and a wider track width just didn't make sense to me. That was like 20% throttle. So I guess in a nutshell, the first reason is if I couldn't find a car like this, then I would have waited much longer to find a good spec GTC. But if you're in the same position I was a few years ago and you're looking for a GTC or a GTR and you just can't find the spec that you want or for the price that you want, then you could get a GTS and modify it and have it be just as good as a GTR. You can add the 9-stage traction control button. You can add rear axle steering. You can widen the track width of your car. The only thing that doesn't really make sense to do is to take the engine out and lower the compression ratio, because at that point, that's going to be way more than just getting a GTC or a GTR. If I knew that back then, and if this car wasn't available, then I would have waited. And since we're already talking about the GTC and the GTR, my next point is going to be that the GTC and the GTR have extra features that you don't get in the GTS that makes driving it a little bit more fun. For example, if you want to activate launch control in this car, you have to come to a full stop, foot all the way on the brake, pull both paddles, then the right paddle to confirm, and then your right foot all the way down on the gas and let go of the brakes. Whereas in the AMG GTC or the GTR, all you gotta do is just foot on the brake and then foot on the gas and it activates automatically. It might not sound like much to have to press the paddles a couple times, but it's just everything comes together, which makes the GTC or GTR a little bit more fun to drive. But so far we've talked about how the GTC and GTR has a lower compression ratio compared to the GTS, has the rear axle steering, and the larger turbos. If you have that extra 30, 40, 50 grand, then I say go for it, get the GTR. It holds value more than a GTS as well. Alright, on to the next point. No AMG GT. Not the base, not the S, not the C, not the R Pro. These cars don't have front axle lift. To me, that's crazy. You can get into a lot of problems, especially if you decide to add a front splitter or lowering springs. Because right now, I have a front splitter on my car. And the car is like this far off the ground and I'm on stock suspension. And for a very long time, I've been debating whether or not to get lowering springs. And I still really do want to get lowering springs, but just going into my friends' driveways, driving on normal roads, it's going to be impossible, seriously impossible, to be able to get into some areas if I lower my car. Just gotta pick one. You can't do a front splitter and lowering springs. But of course, if you live in Florida, then that's really not an issue. All right, and on to my next point. This isn't really a deal breaker for me because I bought the car, but for some people, I know it will be. And you don't get Apple CarPlay in the NTG 5.0 system until 2020. Oh, so this is my photo spot, and there's a cop right there. So I'm gonna take my photo and then leave. So yeah, if you really like the techie aspects, don't expect it inside this car. You're not gonna have any Apple CarPlay. You're not gonna have a digital dash. If you want those things, you have to get a newer model. Me personally, I don't want the newer model. I like this generation, which was like until 2019. So if this car wasn't available, and had I knew the things that I know now, I would have waited to get a GTC or even a GTR at the right price. But at the price I got this car, I really can't complain. I know that was more than 3 things, but I wanted to give you guys some extra knowledge, I guess you could say.
Knowledge.
So if there's a good spec that you like at a good price with decently low mileage, go ahead, get the GTC is what I would have done. You get the lower compression ratio, the larger turbos, and the rear axle steering. That's all you need, especially if you're gonna do upgraded turbos. I will be doing regardless. Very soon. I ordered them. They're on the way, gonna get them installed and then dyno tune it. Can't wait. We're gonna be making some serious power.